I've
We're live.
We're live.
We're live. That's great. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Comedy Cellar Live. We're on YouTube right now. I'm Ryan Beck. I'm hosting this evening. I have Kolbert and Mike Cannon joining me tonight. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
That's
I like
great. Good to see you.
I like your bandana. Is that your new
Thank you.
quarantine look?
No. Well, it is because my wife got me this the other day, and I just so happened to be having a mental breakdown, so I thought I kind of went all together.
Go full Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah,
Wow.
I really thought it kind of matched how anxious and stressed out I've been today. So I was like, I'll just rock with this thing and see if anybody comments on it, which of course, right away.
the first thing.
Was it just a for fun gift or?
It was like, so I've been building a barn with her father. He does most of it. He built like their house by himself and whatever. But when I go out and visit with her parents, we like do a bunch of building stuff. And so I had this thing on because it was sweaty, and also because like my neck always gets sunburned. So I had this thing on, and it was helping out. So
Wow.
What a sweet
I
boy.
like wearing this because I look like a dog, and that's like really
Or like an
kinda what I
adult
want.
Boy Scout.
a what?
An adult Boy Scout if the tie is in the front,
Yeah.
right? Isn't it a neckerchief?
Yeah, like I'm a wee blow.
Yeah, that's just so
Wow.
their
Those
scoutmaster
words sound
can.
so offensive.
I know, it really is crazy.
I'm like, what did he just call you?
So here we are. We're the only three comedians that I guess are not watching football / the second
It's on.
wave. Oh, it's on. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, is it the Super Bowl?
It's
No,
not.
no,
it's the first
beginning
game.
of the season. It's also the end of the world. It's also
Wow,
the end
Allie,
of
that was the least lesbian thing you've ever said.
Oh,
So
feels
football's
good
tonight.
to be back.
Football is tonight, and then also they're having fans. There's like 17,000 people in Arrowhead Stadium right now.
Oh yeah.
So
Despite the other
Wow.
team's objections, right?
yeah, and every other league, which is ridiculous. But it's also nice to know that everyone was like, "Oh, there's going to be a second wave in the fall," and the NFL's like, "We know exactly when that's going to start." So
Yeah,
that's
we're gonna
for them.
start it.
Yeah, they're kicking it off for everybody. So 14 days from now, it's going to be, who knows what's going to happen. But what else is there? I mean, the football thing is like big.
Well, and who playoff? I was watching the Lakers playoff game right before I
Right.
signed on.
This is what bothered me. What bothers me about the NFL thing is there's a lot that bothers me, but the NBA is doing such a great job of having their bubble, and baseball even like had outbreaks and then figured out whatever they needed to do, and they don't have any fans.
I think
they're,
I
like,
think I
testing-
figured out what baseball figured out, which is stop reporting the posipositive tests.
Yeah, maybe
just-
that's
Just
I can't
low
believe
key
I
sit the
agreed to listen
players.
to you guys talk about
Yeah.
sports.
we're talking about
I can't
pandemic.
believe I agreed to this.
Welcome to hell, Allie.
They're like, let's talk
Sorry,
about the
Allie.
playoffs. No, it's okay. Yeah, the virus and the sports. It's crazy.
We could go back to my bandana.
I'm down with that.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you take it away. Whatever.
Allie, you've been saving something. You've been sitting on something tonight that you wanted to ask Mike for a while now, at least 3 minutes. You want to
Mike.
take it away? This is big. This is good
Where-
stuff.
Where are you?
Um, oh yeah, and I just realized how tussled the back of the bed looks. So it just looks like I've been up all night fisting. But
I was like, I
um,
can't believe he has a baby.
yeah, yeah, things aren't going well in my marriage. So I'm in a hotel. No, I'm in Atlanta in a hotel filming something. So I've been
Are you
here.
in Tyler Perry's bubble?
I was in Tyler Perry's bubble, but now I've shifted to a different bubble, which is not
Wow.
much of a bubble. And as a matter of fact, they keep telling me to get Ubers. I'm like, please stop.
Yeah.
How is Atlanta right now?
I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I haven't left my room because I've left for like food and shit like that, and to go to set, as they say in the business. But for the most part, I think it's like, they just had a game literally right outside of my window last night where supposedly the Atlanta Braves broke some sort of run record.
Yeah.
But nobody goes to those games. I'm by a freeway. I got a rental car 3 days into this thing, so I was just landlocked. It was brutal. But I don't know. I really don't know how the city is, but I've heard it's like anywhere else.
How long are you there?
I got here on Saturday and I'm leaving on Sunday. So it's been too long. But I've gotten 3 COVID tests today. I got my 3rd one in a parking lot. So
are they all in your nose?
Yeah, they're all in my nose. But they're now it's like they don't do the fucking deep dick to the brain thing anymore, or at least they didn't for me. They did the midway through, which still tickles, and I did a ton of cocaine, so I'm not totally right before the test, so it could numb the hole.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not like, I'm not, it's not foreign to me to have something shoot up my nose, but it's definitely a weird feeling.
Allie, have you gotten one of those tests?
I've gotten so I was in LA filming something, and they test you every day before you get on set. That's what I was experiencing too.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten like 14 tests.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Jeez.
What about you?
Wild. I got one test. Haven't been filming anything. So I got one test because I tried to do a comedy club in Rochester, and they shut down we did the show on Thursday inside, and then the state came in and shut them down right before the show on Friday. And so the weekend was canceled after that. And I found out that another comedian that I'd been spending time with was around people who had tested positive. So then we had to go get tested. And it was just a whirlwind of a day to have all the shows of the weekend canceled. And also you probably have it. And then I didn't have it, which was good. But I got the test, and then we just sat around in the hotel we're 8 hours from where our bed is. So
it's great to leave it up to a neurotic mess to do his own contact tracing.
Yeah.
Where you're trying to figure out who you've spent time with and who you need to notify.
Right.
Wow.
That's like going raw in college where you're like, shit, you just start doing the math of who you just actually dipped your penis into.
Well, luckily I didn't have that experience. So.
Oh, okay. Allie, nothing?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I didn't have that one either.
We all didn't play basketball, Mike.
Oh, is that, I don't know. I got laid after sports too.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's great for you.
Mike, did you have a COVID scare at all?
No, not at all. But I have a baby, and my father-in-law, who I'm currently staying with, I'm staying with my in-laws. That he has full-blown 9/11 lungs. So if I gave him a touch of COVID, he would just drop dead pretty instantaneously. Yeah.
Does he have 9/11 lungs because he was a firefighter or something?
He was a first responder. He actually he was there, I think, whenever, either that day or 9/12 with his cranes picking up stuff and kind of removing people.
Wow.
Tomorrow's 9/11, isn't it?
It is.
It is.
That's our 9/11 theme show.
Yeah. So if you guys want to get deep into the hoax that is 9/11, we can start off.
Wait, so Mike, is this your first time being away from your baby?
No, I mean, I did road and stuff like that. Pretty heavy, actually, early because I was gearing up for my special. But the longest before this, it's like 3-4 days or something, and then you're home. But this is over a week. Plus, he's very cognizant. Is that the word? Cognizant of me being not there. So it's the first time that there's any awareness that I'm not around the house. And he's like, I could tell even on FaceTime that he's kind of like, what the fuck? Where are you, dude?
Yeah. At least you get him used to it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'll break him into disappointment.
Yeah. As soon as you can figure out how to play catch through FaceTime, you're golden.
Yeah. Wow. I'm going to have more in common with my father than I thought.
So tell me I'm curious about how the being on a set and on a shoot works. Are they worried about the actors getting close, or is everything slower? What's the deal? What's special about it?
Take it away.
Oh, okay. I'll take well, my experience here, I don't know if it's classic. I haven't done I do TV every once in a while, but I haven't acted in anything pretty much official, besides that not stupid. It was very important and also relatively successful, that indie movie that I did. But
yeah, that looked great.
Yeah, that did look cool. That's on Amazon,
where is that right now?
It's on Amazon Prime. Yeah, it's called Timing.
I'm gonna watch that later.
Oh, cool. I mean, cool. The trailer definitely is. If that's all you watch, cool.
The trailer was great.
Yeah,
I did watch.
I
did watch the trailer. That's how I know it was on Amazon. You don't have to tell me about this thing either. If this is a bad leaf of conversation, we can change this.
Oh, it's not at all. No, I just it's so they give you the COVID test. I've gotten 3 since I've been here. I've only been on set 1 day. So I'm working 2 out of the fucking 9 days that I'm here, that makes it being away a little more maddening because I'm mostly just, in my hotel room jerking off, but violently. But
you need a bandana.
Yeah, actually, that's been the nice part, but it did kind of it lost its appeal after the 3rd day because I've been staying with my in-laws, so I've had to be like this, shadowy jizz ninja that like tucks himself away into dark corners just to rub one out. Between my wife and my kid, and then my in-laws, it's like I can't find a time to jerk off.
Is that like art behind you or like a stone pillar? Sorry,
that's a good question.
What is that behind you? Oh, it's a tree mural.
But it's like a strip. And I'm not sure if it's a painting or a photo. Whatever it is, it's ugly.
It looks like they wanted to wallpaper the wall, and then they were like, you know what?
Yeah. They just gave it a sweet little landing strip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But my experience from just being on set, like we got the tests, all that stuff. Everybody's got their temperature taken. You kind of walk around with a red bracelet in your pocket to prove that you've been temperature taken and all that stuff. And from then, it's like everybody wears masks until you're actually on set. So when we're filming, then it's kind of no law. It's pretending we're setting the fantasy like this shit isn't happening. So it's pretty much exactly how it ever was.
That's wild. Was that your experience, Allie?
Yeah, that's been my experience. I mean, everyone on set was everything's the same. The actors don't wear masks when they're filming, and that's it. The crew is still wearing masks, right? You?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not to
every day. Dude, ours is I can't talk much about it, but it's a prank show, and so there's people like filming in boxes, like their own tall coffins, basically in Georgia in the summertime, wearing a mask. So like right after the reveal, they're like coming out, and they're just pouring sweat, like can barely breathe. It's pretty amazing.
I feel like there would be difficult boundaries to prank people during this time because of like distancing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing because they know they're on set. They just don't know what's happening, but they know there's cameras somewhere. So it's like they don't know what to show. It's just a very bizarre thing. But I've done prank shows before. I did this stupid hidden camera thing for a Discovery Channel pilot. As soon as Impractical Jokers took off, every single network was trying to find their own version of it.
They still are.
100%. So we did the exact same thing where they manufactured a friendship between me and like three other doofuses, and we were giving fake tours of both Grand Central Station, and I gave a fake tour of the Intrepid, not on the Intrepid, but on land outside of the Intrepid. So we didn't even have access to the thing that we were faking them with. It was insane, but like
just pointing.
Yeah, and you still have to get coverage. It's like anything else where it's you film it, you get the prank, they're actually surprised, and then everybody's like, all right, can you please do that reaction again? But we're going to punch in on your face. And it's like, these aren't professionals. These are the idiots. And then when you get an idiot to try acting, they're like, it's like the least natural thing you could ever see.
Imagining cartoon eyeballs popping out in back. Oh, that's funny.
That's wild. I can't imagine, like, I think I'd be horribly upset if I got pranked on a TV show. Like, if I, let's say like alternate universe, I'm not a comedian, I don't know anything about TV. I think I would just be violently upset.
Yeah.
Like, I think that I would want to fight you.
I do fight. I mean, Mike Feeney, my podcast co-host, he pranks people. Like, he's an evil, vindictive sociopath, and he'll often stop short in the car while going like have an actual pre-crash reaction. And because I'm a warm-blooded human being, I'll just like look up scared, and he'll be like, gotcha. And I'm like, I want to actually jerk the wheel into traffic.
Yeah, rage is really it's right underneath, for a lot of us.
Oh yeah.
No, definitely for you. Definitely for you. I think that's why we get along, Mike.
Yeah. Well, you don't seem ragey.
Yeah, but it's there.
Doesn't it
promise.
feel kind of mean to prank people you care about?
Yeah.
I used to feel guilty growing up because I was super into pranks, and then I was like, every time I prank my mom, I'm just like really hurting her.
Right.
Well, like the essence of a prank is like a lie, right?
Yes. Yeah, you're betraying them.
Mm-hmm.
It's the worst. I mean, I guess that's why it's funny and makes for good TV, and it's like the closest thing that you can get to like bottling viral videos, because most viral videos are like an accident. Somebody slips, falls, shits themselves, and that's the funniest thing, and it'll get 50 million views. But it's like a prank is almost a scripted version of that, trying to capture like a real, surprise moment. But it sucks.
Yeah.
As I'm doing a TV show. Glad to do it.
I'm sure it's great. And they are funny. Like but I'm with Allie. I think that there's like a certain level where it feels mean, but if there's a way that you can, I think that's what works for Sal and those guys, is that it seems like there's some kind of like jovial nature to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not being malicious. They're just busting each other's balls.
Yeah, they're not like just trying to get a guy's social security number or something the whole episode until he breaks down, and they're like, "Got your identity, bitch," or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I could prank one of my friends and tell his wife that he cheated on her. Like that would be a hilarious prank.
Do you remember the show Boiling Points?
Yes.
And that was just like they would get more money the longer. What was it?
It was the longer they could take a beating, they earned money. So as the person's pranking them and they're just being like weathering the storm, they're like, all right, that's $2 more. It wasn't even a big amount of money that it would go up.
It's like $20 because he didn't like say fuck your mother or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that show.
I think Lady Gaga was on that show before she was Lady Gaga. So she was on as like Stephanie Spaghetti or whatever the hell her Italian
Oh,
was.
really?
Yeah.
Stephanie Spaghetti.
That's a better stage name.
I know, it's Stephanie Spaghetti.
Her name is like Stephanie Buttafuoco.
It is. It's a lot of vowels.
Have you been to the Italian restaurant that her dad owns on the Upper West Side, or her and her family own on the Upper West Side?
No, I didn't know. I didn't even know that.
What, Joanna? What was her most recent? You don't know.
Joanne.
Joanne. I was like, they're not gonna know. Yeah, Joanne.
Yeah. Did you watch that documentary where she talks about that? Did either of you see that?
No, I didn't.
Is that the Netflix one where she shows her breasts?
Yeah.
I only saw those two scenes.
Yeah.
one scene per breast.
Yeah.
There's a scene in that where Lady Gaga, Joanne is like she died. It was like her aunt that died. So it's like very tragic. She died when she was like in her 20s or something. I'm going to butcher these facts, but I don't think anybody watching this is going to be like, Ryan, like, there's no Lady Gaga fanatics watching this right now.
There's somebody listening while editing her Wikipedia page being like, what the fuck?
So her aunt died like in her 20s, tragic. And then Lady Gaga sits down with her grandma, so Joanne's mom, and she just keeps like forcefully trying to make this woman like relive this experience that she clearly doesn't want to relive on camera. And it's really crazy. It's wild. Like if you watch it, it's like this Lady Gaga is like totally disconnected. She's like not connected with how her grandma is like actually feeling. She's like, yeah, and then Lady Gaga goes on, and at one point she says like, I just feel like I am Joanne. And it's like, this is too much. You cannot do this to your grandma. It's wild. It's wild, man.
That's like Jim Carrey playing Andy Kaufman talking to his parents.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so weird when people are that like, so, and she processes trauma in her own way and, makes music with it. I assume that's how it filters through her. But I'm sure her perception is like, everybody's like that. Everybody likes to feel everything all at once because it's beautiful art. And it's like, some people are trying to survive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. She's talking to a little Italian lady. Like this is not she doesn't want to express.
Yeah, that lady was like a plane ride away from blowing Mussolini. Like she got her own problems.
Oh my God.
Well, it's
Yeah,
great to
Lady
see you
Gaga's
guys.
so out of touch.
It's wild.
Have you ever seen her? I'll go on for Gaga all day.
Please, I'm dying.
Have you ever
I
seen
want to know her as, this Lady Gaga.
this Lady Gaga? Have you ever seen her Howard Stern where she plays I'm on the Edge of Glory?
Yes.
It's like unbelievable musicianship, legitimately will bring tears to your eyes. But there's this one part that is just, she can't stop tripping over her douchery. Like she's just like talking about her and her grandfather like slugging down tequila shots at a funeral or something like that. And she's doing the horseshit rock star preamble where it's like, almost half a poem, half a fucking off the top of her dumb head, but she's rehearsed it 1,000 times. And in the middle of the song, she's like, I know the shot. She's like, that's what I was talking about with my grandpa. And like, oh, come on. Shut your face, lady. Just play the song. Gaga. You're ruining everything.
Oh, I hate that.
I know.
That's wild.
Howard has had some really good musical performances on that show.
Oh, killer. I mean, he's
amazing.
It's the reason why he's that type of dude that can not only bring out the truth of people, like he has unbelievable in-depth interviews, but then also everybody understands that his audience is so concentrated and big that they have to put on the best show of their life. They can't go in there and like, oh, it's fucking bleary-eyed, it's morning radio, fuck this bullshit, it's Elvis Duran. It's like, no, you're playing to the world. You should probably bring your game.
Yeah.
It's I feel like I don't know anymore. I don't know that I'm going to talk about things that I don't know, but I feel like since podcasts have had such a big boom that Howard hasn't been the big guy anymore. Is that true?
I mean, in terms of just sheer numbers, or
yeah, I mean, like I know he's incredibly influential on like a syndicated radio show. Well, he's on XM, right, or Sirius.
He is Sirius XM. He's the reason why that company is floating. And honestly, I want him to work forever just so Sound Exchange continues to pay me.
That's what I was just thinking. I was just thinking that because I was like, I have a few tracks out there and I'm like, I need that. I need that.
They've been single-handedly keeping me alive. Both of my albums playing on Sirius. So Howard, I'm in it for you to broadcast till you're dead.
What is Sound Exchange? A part of Sirius?
It's like the distribution model for digital. So Sound Exchange is like the accountant of what you play on Sirius, on Pandora. All your streams come back through Sound Exchange, and then they pay you out.
Yeah, okay. But Sirius pays like exponentially more.
Yeah, I mean, well, Spotify I think pays like literally fractions of a penny every stream.
Yeah, that's like so gross, man. That's so gross.
That's how they have $100 million to give to Rogan every year.
Crazy.
Like, we'll pay nobody but Joe.
That's true. That really is true.
It's funny, though, when you think about someone like Joe Rogan and the size of the audience he's captured, in a way that reminds me of maybe what Howard would have been if Howard would have been a podcast personality and really tapped into that like strong demo.
Well, and he was that. I mean, a long time, he was so syndicated that a large percentage of the country listened to him when that was the only option. But then when things get niche and, everything's fractured and people have their own, specific interests, it's like Rogan is that guy that interviews a bunch of different type of people. He has, dude centric interest for sure. And there are a lot of people that also hate him that probably, like they did with Howard, listen for 30% longer than the people that are fans.
Yeah.
It's like people that want to take him down are listening really carefully to what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely happening with him. It's interesting. I would love to be hated. That sounds great.
Would you? Because I get like 6 comments on a fucking Instagram video and I'm like, I can't take this.
No, I don't want anybody to hate me. I want to be universally loved. That's why I started doing this. I
want people to hate how much they love me. Michael Scott.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The Office. That's what we're all. No, I think we're all screwed because they're just going to play The Office on reruns on every channel now, and there's never going to be like more jobs for us.
That's why my fear. That's why I just put everything behind a paywall, dude. Just become your own network.
Ugh.
You know,
Yeah.
what else?
Yeah.
What else is there? It's like, you know, at this point we can't be lazy. We can't be waiting. This job I'm shocked that I got, especially during the middle of a pandemic. It's amazing, but it's not something I was counting on. Everything else,
Yeah.
the way I've generated money is during this whole thing has been 100% self-sufficient.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about it. It's just such a hard thing to not have the outlet that is stand up in the Cellar, especially during this year, because like mostly I just feel, which is why I have the headband on, I just feel anxious about like, oh, I haven't grown to this point in my career. I haven't grown my audience the way that I should have to have some kind of like scrap of like an outlet that would match what you get doing stand-up this year.
Right.
You know, like I'll post videos. I posted a sketch today on my Instagram and I'm going to put it on Twitter tomorrow. I think it's really funny. I think I worked really hard on it all day, and I don't know, it's a different thing because like you tell a joke to an audience or you have a couple shows in the night, like you get amped up to that and you get this feedback back, and maybe people will follow you after the show or whatever. Or say good set, whatever, you know, all this stuff that's nice about stand-up. This is assuming the show's going well, the stand that you're doing.
Yeah.
But then with the internet and everything, it's like you work on something and you just put it out there, and then people either call you a dick or no one pays attention at all.
Yeah, it's painful. It's really depressing. I really miss stand-up as an I really miss stand-up as an outlet to like honestly just feel good.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes bad, but you know, that rush you get, I mean, what do? Drugs?
You force your wife to give you that level of attention.
So far I've been doing that.
That's what I've been doing. I'm like, hey, I don't get audiences. I don't have groups of people gathering to positively reinforce me. So you got to step your motherfucking game up, lady. Gaga.
Do you feel yourself this lady, Gaga.
This lady.
Do you feel yourself trying to sort of stretch out everyday interactions and really kind of like perform in the moment just to get out some sort of stand-up?
Not even a little bit. I haven't stretched out a social interaction with anybody. I podcast like 4 to 4+ hours a week. So I do 3 hours for my Patreon show, and then I do 1 hour for Irish Goodbye. And that, while it's not stand up at all, and the instant feedback and gratification from a group of strangers saying that you're good is certainly missing, it at least gives me something to like, you know, get cooking and roll and get creative. And then, you know, I release a stand-up clip and a sketch or some sort of alternate comedy to stand up every single week. So I'm just like, you know, I've been doing this for a while, but also during the pandemic, I've been rolling all that stuff out more, and it's just become increasingly important.
Yeah. I'm having such a hard time figuring out like the right way to do that stuff, because I know you got to be on like a schedule, and it just sucks. I think that part of the business I've never really liked. I think I personally have like a lot of contempt for like this, like in this move, this big push to influencing.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, influencing sucks.
Yeah, I don't think you have to like hold yourself to a schedule or anything like that. Like, I think just doing it when you feel like it's okay to is fine.
Oh, but I mean,
sometimes, right?
They say that best practices are for like YouTube and other things like that are always to like, you know,
consistency
and release at the same time and whatever else. And it's like, the thing that I feel, and it's like I like so many different things, you know. I like to write, like to act, I like to do comedy, I like to do sketches, I like to do all this stuff. And so when you are like, you just have your phone, or you have to build a brand or whatever you got to do to be successful in this time without stand-up, it's kind of flabbergasting, because you're like, okay, well, I don't know how to boil down all the things that I like into like one like thing to put on.
But it's also with this is with stand up. The idea is like not to influence. So I'm not posting stuff in hopes that I'll get like a MeUndies ad on my Instagram. I'm posting shit in hopes that people are going to get familiar with my comedy, and then they're going to come to see me perform live if and when that comes back. So it's like, it's all funneling back to live comedy, where it's like, does it suck? Yes. Did I resist it? Yes. It's like, it's a lot of work, and it's really meticulous and shit that I don't specialize in. I'm not a tech guy. I'm not like a social media guru or any of that, but I've had to learn certain things because it's our fucking job. You know, it's like, it's different than what it was. Stand-up is changing. And I think a lot of stand-ups, especially ones that I've talked to from like an older guard, are like, yeah, this might not be something I even like anymore. Like comedy is not the same as when I started. I used to write, you know, we wrote jokes, we performed, we were good, we got the whatever, then you get this and you get that and all that stuff.
Yeah, you don't do that.
That's not what it is anymore. Now, you, like I said before, you kind of have to become your own free floating network to where you can prove yourself to people. You go directly to the people as opposed to getting hired by whoever the fuck, some 23-year-old that just got out of college and fell ass backwards into a comedy job because they didn't get the law position they thought they were going to get. So it's like, you know, that you're going to rely on that asshole to give you some fucking speaking part on a stupid show that's going to gain you 8 followers anyway. So it's not going to push the needle forward besides getting you SAG points. Like, who cares? That stuff is meaningless.
Mm-hmm. Allie, do you feel that, I mean, how do you balance like trying to put shit online and also feeling like you have personally have enough going on to where you can keep doing this?
So in terms of like social media, I like hate posting. Like I post a lot of them, like my Twitter jokes on Instagram, which I personally hate doing. It feels so bad. I don't like the jokes. Like, I don't like it. I don't think it's good, but I just really want attention. And I want, I want the followers. And I sometimes I can post a joke that I really think is funny, but other times I post things that are not even that funny. And like, I get followers, like I'm aware of it, but like, I want the followers. Like I could post like cheese is everything. And it's like, that's the most liked post. And it's like, that fucking sucks, but I'll fucking play the game.
Oh, the amount of "is this guy hot or tall" jokes I've seen. Like it's like so many fucking basic observations that are just passed as comedy now, which is like, hey, okay, whatever, you know, those people wouldn't be fans of mine anyway. You know, the same people that think like tall is hot is hilarious because so true are not going to laugh at my potato gunning a tampon out of her vagina joke.
Right.
You know, it's just
I fucking love that joke. I love the sound effects that go along with it. And I remember you doing that joke at Fairfield Comedy Club and my sister crying her eyes out.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yes.
Cried her tampon right out.
It sucks, but like if there's a way to, sometimes I feel like you have to give into it a little bit if you want to like build a social following, at least at the start. And then if you're able to like do a mix of, I mean, that guy's so tall, he's hot, whatever the fucking joke is that we've all seen 1,000 times, something that's between that and something that feels you. I mean, it's just hard. I cringe at every time I use social media. Like, aren't you embarrassed for yourself sometimes?
Yeah, of course. Most time. But that's why I'm also like, for the most part, my Instagram now, I just put a post up for my wife, but it's like in the middle of just all comedy. Like it's all just stand up, sketch, like all that. So my Instagram is almost like unrecognizable to what I thought Instagram was. In the beginning, I was like, Instagram will expose myself to people who like me and it'll give another outlet for them to get to know who I am as a person. And it's like, now that couldn't be less of what I use it for. And it's all content. It's all, if you want to see my shit and you follow me, here's my channel. Come to my channel and flick through it.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's almost like you have to kind of get people in with the content so that once you have followers, you could just do what you originally intended to do, which is just expose yourself and have.
But that's what podcasting is also. It's like, podcasting is like where people actually get to know you and usually where your most loyal ticket buying stand-up fans come from as well. Like, you know, I have some people that come out from social media every once in a while, but almost, I would say 95% of the people that come to see me are all from my podcast. And there's like a shorthand conversation that we can have. Like they already know me, like, you know, super, super well. I don't know them, which makes it a little uneven and creepy, but it's still, you know, it's great because they're there just like, I know Mike. I like Mike. That joke has context, even more so to me. I'm 100% bought into this performance.
And how long did it take you to get your Irish Goodbye pod? I mean, I know you have the new solo show, yeah?
No, it's with me, Feeney, and Sagalo. So we do a separate. That's the Patreon show? That's the Patreon show, yeah. And that's just like, super escapist fun where there is no social commentary or any of that bullshit. Not really like there is on Irish Goodbye, but it's like it's hypotheticals and what ifs and stuff like that. So we just kick those questions around and it's just, we riff. Like it's just super fun.
Right.
And then Irish Goodbye is story.
How long did it take Irish Goodbye to like get any like steam for you? Where you were like, oh, I have fans. This feels like I found my voice in this space.
Well, I also had a podcast before that, so it there was some spillover. I had a conspiracy podcast where people used to call me retarded for believing the earth was round. So those
people are coming to the shows, huh?
No, those people were not, but the other people were coming out to shows. Every once in a while, those people would come out. We have a shorthand. Yeah. Every once in a while, those people would come out and just be like, I really loved the show until you started talking about flat earth. That's bullshit. And I'm like, so you were on board with Sandy Hook, Boston Marathon, 9/11, like all that stuff? That was totally cool. They're like, absolutely. And I'm like, good to see you. Those have mostly washed away. But I would say, it's taken a while. Like, we're about to get to our 200th episode. And, we're seeing exponential growth, I think, since quarantine and stuff like that, but even before. So it's taken well over a year, probably over 2 years to really see real results as opposed to, the sporadic person here and there.
Yeah. That's great that you can actually feel it, because it's like, that's the one thing that I always feel like with this social media and them posting so many sketches and, tweeting and all this other stuff that we do, is that I always feel like there's some element to it where it just feels like you're beating your head against the wall. And it's like, not even I don't even desire likes and followers. It'd be really great. But the reason that I would want those things is so then I can have be in better standing with people who give a shit about that, right. Like people who are going to buy this script that I wrote, or staff a show where I can write scripts for that or whatever. It's like, for whatever reason, or even like late night sets have gone this way, where it's like you have to already have a following because they're not doing that great, those shows. And so they want to build off of you the way you want to build off of them. And it's like, everything is kind of up in the air, and it's like, you do have to do your own thing, but it's like so hard. I think this is just me bitching, but the fact of the matter is, it's like, it's hard to feel authentic and not cheesy, and feel embarrassed for yourself, like you said, Allie, and still make things and put them out in these platforms. It's crazy.
But that's why also, even what you were saying, which totally makes sense, put you in better standing with people that buy stuff. And maybe this is me being jaded or working in something for 12 years and getting some opportunity industrially, and then most of my opportunity has been self-created. Mm-hmm. It's like, all I want is for those fans to support me financially so I can shoot my own script. Fuck these people. They don't know what funny is. I have a very specific view of what I like comedy. I sent my Frank Rigatone sketch to my manager and he was like, oh, I'm not pitching this. I can't pitch this. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm just going to keep making it myself. And you have absolutely zero to do with it. And whatever comes of it. But I know that it's good and it's always going to live there. And it's not non-representative of what I do. Most of my TV stuff that I've done is it's like, yeah, that's kind of me, but that's that's like a laminated glossy version of myself. And then when people, dive further and see what I actually do, some of them are horrified. Mm-hmm. Some of them are like, holy shit, this guy's great, he's totally on my level, that other soft shit was whatever, but this is really good. And then other people are like, I like the soft shit, let me see what else is in there. And they're like, just
fired across the room.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's all. I think I'm just missing stand-up. I really think that's why I have the headband on tonight, because I just miss it. I miss performing, and I'm glad that they're reopening for the dining because it feels like it's going further, but I think the NFL is going to sink us. I think we're done.
Have you done outdoor shows at all?
I have one on Saturday at the other comedy club, Loft Space, that they're doing. And I've done the governor's one before the state shut them down. I've done all these park shows. I've done a couple of bar things. They're fine, right? How have you guys dealt with these?
Yeah, there's good with the bad. I haven't done a park show since they added a microphone, so I'm sure that at least makes it a little bit better. But
Mhm.
I kind of got tired of shouting punchline. I just didn't think it was necessarily worth it to try to develop jokes like that.
I did a park show, one of them, and there was no microphone, and it was worse for me than what. I don't want to do it unless
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
Point,
I'm just gonna feel bad.
At that point, we are homeless. Like, we are the shouting homeless person in Port Authority, except they're doing more noble work because they're actually spreading the word of Christ.
It's true. It's very true. I don't like it, but I will say some of them have been okay, but there's like so much nuance to stand up, and like there's like the whole aspect of like the microphone, the stage, the audience, everything that I really like, that is the opposite of the social media stuff, and like everything, the essence of stand-up, like the part that we really love, which is why people are even watching this right now, is because they love the same thing, like being in the room and having that connection,
energy exchange.
Yeah, it's totally different in the park, because like the park, like when you tell a joke, like you get like laughs up to the punchline, you get like your setup laughs and your joke, like little giggles, and like, so, the energy's here, and then the punchline, and it's like, oh, this is awesome. In the park, you only get the punchline, and you don't get anything leading up. You don't get anything after. You only get the punchline. There's no tags in the park. You could try to tag your joke in the park, but they're outside.
The park show is almost like a blowjob where they don't put their mouth on your penis. Like, they're just actually blowing lightly onto your penis. Like, it's kind of what it is, but it's not really. Like, there's some joy to it, but there's like a main ingredient missing.
That sounds dead on. And no, I can't even get like intimate with how people look, and like that's like it just doesn't feel right. It's just not good. I don't want to do it.
Totally. And I have been grateful to have like the opportunity to speak and then receive money. That's cool. Great.
Yeah.
I like that. And I'm really happy that they're trying to do that. But I
like that too. And I'll take it to work.
Totally. And it's just like it's a far cry from like what we got into the business for, which in the same way is like the emphasis on influencing, or maybe the emphasis that I'm putting on influencing in a time when there is no stand up. It's so much different than like the thing that when I was a teenager that I was obsessed with, and through my 20s that I was obsessed with, is like writing a joke, getting on stage and saying it out loud to strangers and having them laugh at it.
But this also has been a network thing too. Like, it's not just comedians taking it in their own hands to influence. Like, the network kind of propped up influencers. There are networks that didn't. They were putting on stand-up shows just so people could see cool jackets and sneakers. Like, it had nothing to do with the jokes and everything to do with the fit.
Right. So that's exactly the thing that upsets me, because like I know. This sounds pompous, but I know I'm good at stand-up. I know I'm a great joke writer. I know I'm a really great performer. Like, I do well consistently. We work at the Comedy Cellar. This is the best place to do stand-up comedy. You have to be good to work here. There's no, like, I'm not blowing smoke. We all know what the deal is. This is a great club, and it's like, this is the place to be. We're in New York City. We're doing at the best comedy club. And so what's frustrating about all of that is like, you work so hard to get to a certain point, and then like, that's kind of shifted where it's like, there's people that just are very, it's like, I don't know how many comedians I see now. It says comedian, and it's just mostly pictures of like their ass or whatever.
That's mine. That used to be mine.
God, that's so fucking annoying, honestly.
Well, it's just, you work hard to be funny, and then it's like funny's not rewarded. So it's like, well, what the fuck? Do I have to dance on TikTok for anyone to know that I'm like a good writer?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Do I have to do this? What is this? What is that?
But that's like that's also been the case like for a long time. I mean, I'm sure a lot of veterans, when Girl Code came out, were like, what the fuck is this? Like, all of a sudden these people, these some 3-year comics are headlining theaters now, and they can't get booked at clubs, and it's like, it's only ratcheted up. Like, it's only the same, it's only more so, where it's like, and you can't really blame the clubs because it's money speaks. So the only way they can make money is if they fill the seats. They're not going by, like, the Comedy Cellar is one of the few places where they're the draw. right? So
Right.
obviously there's great comedians and that has helped bolster the name, but the club itself at this point is the draw because they are trusted to bring in good comedians. So even though we may not be famous on the level of some of the other people that perform there, when we get on stage, we still have the respect because of that sign behind us. The
Right.
other places that you go to on the road where you're trying to like break in as a headliner, and you know, I've been doing this for the last like 5 years headlining. It's like you gotta come in for little to no money, really show out, and even if you put on the best show of the year for papered seats, they don't give a fuck because you didn't sell anything. They're like, yeah, you're really good, and I bet you're gonna be something, but we're not damned if we're gonna help you because we have to sell tickets.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. Is that the Cellar is the draw. Like
Right.
they are it's where you go to see good comedians. Whereas the comedy club is where you go to see that comedian that's here this weekend.
Right. And there's places like that across the country, like, you know, one of which is closing, which is insane, Cap City in Austin. But, you know, they've done a
Are they
thing.
closing because of Corona?
I think that was part of it, but I guess they were having some.
I think they were already struggling a little bit because there's like 2 other comedy clubs, I think, in Austin now.
Velveeta Room and then something else, and then also there's Murmurs, and he's the one that kind of gave the idea, but Rogan was talking about moving a comedy store to Austin because he just moved there. So who knows what's going to happen there? You know, there's a lot of shit that's going on, but it's like there's a lot of clubs that in towns where comedy is not necessarily. Not everybody's a fan. They go because it's a night out. It's the same as bowling, except people are talking at them. You know, it's just they consider it the same shit. It's like
totally.
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's totally it. I don't know. I think I need to personally. I just got to figure out a way to where I can reconcile the work that I have to do as a professional and to make money, like the things that I don't like, with my desire, which is why I got into stand-up, which I want to know why you guys did too, if it's not too much of a sad story. But like I got in because I felt like shitty, sad, whatever, and I wanted nobody else to feel that way, and I wanted to express myself. This was like, that's really the core of it, was like I got into this because I wanted to like express myself, and that was
I'm not laughing at you, but there's literally not a more appropriate thing you could say with that bandana on.
I know I look like a young Willie Nelson.
I just wanted to express myself, man.
But that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted, was like an outlet. I wanted to connect to people, and you know, you use humor as a defense mechanism when you're uncomfortable and whatever else. I've been uncomfortable for a very long time. So this is why I got into this, is to do that. And so then when I see it shift and it's not the same as what I wanted it to be, I feel like older than any of the old comedy veterans, where I'm like, this isn't the right way, you know? And I feel like a old I feel like a crotchety man.
Yeah. Were you about to say Bob Cratchit?
Yeah, that's not right. That's like Christmas Carol, right? Yeah. That's like Scrooge's whipping boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the wrong reference for sure. Not right at all.
Funny.
But yeah, that's basically it. It was just like, that's the thing that's so tough, is like, how do you maintain being genuine and doing what you want while also doing the bullshit, which is like, I don't know, maybe it's just that I'm like getting older, where it just feels like everything is bullshit.
Right. Yeah.
Would you mind the pics if you were like a sexy girl who looked good in a bikini? Would you mind that shift? Would you be like,
I would absolutely post those. Absolutely. If I was a sexy girl that like did all that stuff. I mean, I don't know. I saw several, and then that wasn't even just about the women. I mean, like there are other guys who are doing,
totally,
male comedians who are doing things. There's a couple that are like straight up models that just post pictures of them in cool jackets. And I'm like, okay, I guess, but like, you're not funny. Like, it sucks. Why don't we value, just be that, just be the guy in the jacket. Why do you have to, like, you know, also bump me down the comedian, whatever, the lineup?
I think it's like twofold, right? It's because comedy is everywhere. It's, you know, literally everywhere. You could read a tweet. Nobody's sad for that long. They just pick up something and completely, like, you know, distract themselves into finding it funny. And then they want to see, so you have to be hotter than you are funny because you have to bring something to the table. It's like, oh yeah, this mutant's like kind of funny, but I don't give a shit. Where's his dick?
This mutant.
I feel like you have to be really ugly or really hot. And I'm consistently, I feel like I fall in the middle of everything, you know, like I'm not country enough for the country audience. I'm not city enough for the city audience. I'm not tough enough or gross enough for those audiences. I'm like too sensitive but I'm not sensitive enough for like the pussy crowd.
Yeah. I mean, I think you just found your definition.
Nobody's
right
in the
there.
middle. Nobody's in the middle.
But that's it. I mean, dude, I suffer from the same thing because, you know, on one hand, people call me a libcuck, you know, whatever. And then on another, they call me an alt-right maniac because I make jokes about everything. So the joke is just go down spraying. If you're not winning or whatever, then take everyone with you. All I'm doing right now, that's been my mode this entire quarantine, where it's like, okay, if I can't define myself and like totally sell to one side, because that's all that works right now, is if you just align yourself with a political party or a social agenda and then, you know, make jokes and hope they don't find out that you're kind of the opposite way as well. It's like it's like, then fuck it. Just spray every motherfucker. Shoot until they take you out.
Yeah, I mean, you're totally right. What's that?
My sister's knocking on my door.
It's like, who's threatening violence?
She's like, you tell those boys to be quiet in there.
There's like Allie's in the back room getting, well, what's the word? No, what's the word?
I want you to figure it out.
Wait, I'm going to figure it out. Hold on. I had a great joke and then I lost it. Radicalized. Allie's in the back room getting radicalized.
I'm getting recruited by ISIS.
I got there.
Damn right.
He's getting recruited by ISIS. The white ISIS.
When the government fails, you just got to spray everywhere.
What are you playing in there?
I got the bandana on, like Baby Duck Dynasty. I look like Duck Dynasty's accountant.
I have like half an American flag on, but it also says stuff. You're not sure if there's like infidel stuff written.
With what looks like camo wallpaper behind you.
Yeah, dude, I'm in a hotel and I've just been shadow boxing in the dark for 8 straight days.
Oh my God. Allie, am I crazy? Am I putting way too much emphasis on trying to figure out if I have a brand or not? Should I shut the fuck up?
No, I don't think you're crazy. I just think you're being way too hard on yourself.
That's interesting.
It just sounds like you're beating yourself up. You're funny. Just do whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, the thing. Well, right? Ryan, because that's what it
probably
is. That's what your brand is yourself. So you don't necessarily have to box yourself in. You could just do what you want and hope people figure out who you are for you.
Yeah. Truly.
Yeah. I gotta, you're right. I think I need to do that. And then also just be on podcasts with famous people. That seems to be a good plan too.
Yeah, that's a good one. And
I gotta find some famous people and talk to them for a half hour.
Well, that's your problem. It's got to be 60 minutes.
Damn. No, I'll just do a half hour and then I'll stare at them and they'll be like, this guy's weird. I gotta follow him.
It's a staircast.
Yeah, it's a staircast. Remember when he just shut up for the last half hour? That's never the case. I've never stopped talking. So that's another thing. It's great to see two people that I actually enjoy, you know, because whatever, you get it. It's really great to see you guys.
No, what else? Trash the roster of
what
the
I'm trying,
Cellar.
not this roster. No, I like everybody. But I'm just saying is that like there's like an element to comedy that is the community. That's the thing that I really love, right? I really love comedians and the fans and like everything. The community on whole is great because it just, no matter where you go around the country, different, you know, you've traveled the globe, Mike. It's like the same. There's like something that's really sweet about people who are all in the same kind of mindset around the business. Like, you know, I don't know why there would be a reason for the three of us to get together and talk for an hour other than because we love comedy and we love to perform and all this and the Cellar. And
well, I find value in each of you individually separate from comedy, but go ahead, continue your point.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
So, but it's the community that brings you together. So that's the thing that I really value. And I lost this train of thought. But there are some people I don't like. That's what I was trying to say. And so it's nice to see people who I do like.
Yeah. Who do you hope dies during this pandemic?
Oh, well,
Joking.
I mean, I think, oh, it looks like we're out of time.
I want everybody who's wronged me in the show business to catch a deep chest cold and then drop dead at some point during this pandemic. That would be lovely.
I can't wish that. Does anybody want to plug their business before we hang up for the night?
Michael?
Go ahead, Allie. Plug. I've been yapping.
Follow me on social.
What is it? Social.
Allie Kolbert, ALI Kolbert, KOLBERT. Stay tuned.
All right. Stay tuned.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna put this down here like the dog.
I think you look freshly groomed.
Mike, talk about the podcast. Where are they going to find you?
So yeah, Irish Goodbye podcast available everywhere you listen to podcasts, iTunes, Stitcher, all that jazz, YouTube. And then What's the Scenario? That's my Patreon, patreon.com/scenario pod. It's me, Mike Feeney, Brendan Sagalow, two super funny dudes. We do hypotheticals, what if scenarios, bat them back and forth, riff for a full hour. We release 3 episodes per week. Plus we give all of our sketches and content that we put up online early to our Patreon. And, it's just a good goddamn time over there. So sign up. And my special and all that stuff, sketches, stand-up, everything you could possibly want on Mike Cannon Comedy on YouTube. I have a ton of stuff. So go check that out. It's free.
Awesome. There you go. That's Mike Cannon. And you can find me and all my business and probably an impending breakdown at I Am Ryan Beck on Instagram, Twitter.
Film it and then post it and then subtitle it.
I know, really. That's the thing. I got to learn how to subtitle, but not tonight. Thank you. This has been Comedy Cellar Live. Thank you. Thank you much. See you, everybody.